welcome to Winter League Week 2 wrap-up show. It's been another fantastic day of football as we approach Christmas. Tree, you feeling festive?
Yeah, we're finished now. I think I've had a lot of stress today than I liked, so am I ready for Christmas? I'm definitely ready for Christmas now more than ever.
You got to play, though.
I got to play, so that's a little Christmas early wish list for me. I got a touchdown at the end zone, got my feet in, tapping, so I was quite happy. So is it ready for Christmas now? Yes.
Good.
Can't wait for it.
I bet. And Scott, nice to have you back. Fantastic jumper.
Beers for the Chargers.
That's it. Feeling festive?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. We've had some incredible games today, some surprises, some not so surprises, and our first tie. So we're going to get onto all kinds of news and talk about that. So our first big headline news is that the Edinburgh Outlaws, the best team in Edinburgh, have taken down the previously undefeated Top Gun, meaning that the standings have been blown pretty much wide open the whole way through the pack as Edinburgh pick up a win that I'm not sure many other teams will.
No.
So congratulations to Edinburgh. They turned up with what was maybe one of the largest squads I've ever seen
for a kitted team.
Edinburgh handle. Basically turned up with a full roster and managed to rotate players throughout their games as well as picking up some pretty big wins.
Yeah. To add to it, I'd probably just comment on Liam. There's been a couple of games today where I was watching and his clock management was spot on. It guided him through a couple of games. I think the Carnegie game, the first one, the Top Guns game especially, the clock management. I think Liam's kind of really, with his experience in those situations, really helped him today. So kudos, Liam. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see any of the Edinburgh play, unfortunately, so I don't have a lot to say on this particular headline.
No, neither do I. I never knew Top Guns got beat till we started doing this tonight. So
fantastic. Breaking the news live. Cool. Okay. On to headline number 2, the first tie of Winter League. Maybe a bit more common in this format, but also very, very unusual. Anywhere outside of the Aberdeen Silvercats and the Granite City Quake. They had 4 in one day. 4 in one day.
We were part of that. 0-0.
Which is
I was quarterback.
Which is fantastic. Also, Rexy's second ever tie. Nailed it. So against the Blackhawks in the final game of the day, where it went back and forth, and if anything, the defenses were definitely better than the offenses in that particular game. Scott, I think you'd agree.
You put me in a really difficult place here, Bess. as the quarterback for Rexy's, defense is one.
A lot of good defense there. You were elsewhere.
Yeah, I wasn't there again. I was sworn about somewhere. It was the last game, wasn't it?
It was the last game.
Yes, I was packing up at that point. But when I heard it was a tie, I was a little bit shocked. I didn't expect you guys to kind of come up short against Newcastle. But looking at Newcastle's other results, though, throughout last week, I wrote it in the key matchups this morning that were released. They're only getting beat by less than a score. In every single game, they're consistent. Yeah. And with the increased numbers, the better rotation, we know that they're a Prem level team, so I'm not surprised in a sense that I knew Newcastle could do that. Then I'm also looking at you guys thinking, well, Rexy have got really depth as well. So
yeah, they just don't go. All credit to them, they just don't go away. The quarterback gets rid of the ball quickly. He takes 90% of the snaps under center and gets the ball out before the blitzer can get there, which is really annoying. So yeah, all credit to them. They quickly just move the ball very easily and
Legion of Bruin.
Well done. Got the
stop. Good job, guys. That's excellent.
So, congratulations to them. And our final headline is more of a question for the community, and that is: are the Chargers good now?
Can we say that?
I think they might be. It's hard to say that they're good with a 2-win team, but that's also, in percentage terms, an infinite increase on last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than 1 million. 1 million of nothing is still nothing.
So they've done incredibly well. Their squad is larger. They have a lot of guys who I think have come over from kitted. They've got guys that are, some of the ex-Sabres have moved over. So there's guys in there that are not new, even though they're new to the club.
Yeah, they've recruited well this year. Their rookies aren't rookies.
Yeah.
They're just new to the team.
The powder blue shirt, definitely divided opinion.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up actually because we're talking about it. I'm divided too. I'm not too sure. I think because I'm not an NFL fan, I'm not drawn to San Diego.
It was the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Oh, sorry.
So it was the San Diego Chargers at the time that had the powder blue.
Yeah,
and it was one of the nicest kits in the NFL. Viewpoint from Carnegie MyFlagFootball. And they've tried to replicate it.
Maybe it's a grower.
It's not an immediate impact on me.
So maybe it's a grower. To be fair, we probably shouldn't judge anyone's choice of uniform.
No. a little shout to the community. Who's got the worst stripped, Rexy or Chargers? We'll put a poll at the side of this one for everyone.
See us in the comments.
Yeah.
But no, they moved the ball well. Even a couple of their losses were only by a score or two.
They played us. We only won 12-6. It was 6-6 with Bezly. Not quite the last drive of the game, but that was my first game quarterback and probably for a long time. And they stepped up comparing to last season where we were putting like 35 points on them. That there's night and day. And the one thing we had from the last review show and from other things was how good their defense was. I think they averaged. I think they had the 4th or 5th best defense in the Winter League in week 1. So
just out the bronze medal.
Yeah. So. I think defensively they keep producing like that, and then offensively they need to score more. They need to put points on the board. And I think, as you guys have been talking about, they haven't played together. They know the sport, they play the sport, but they haven't played together. It's
efficiency and
that will come. That's the same with our guys. I've not played with guys like James Grubb, Brandon Lynch, Michael Haddo. I've not played with these guys, and they're in our rotation now. So it's about gelling and playing together. So I think the Chargers, to answer our question, I think they're good. I think the
offense comment's a good one because they scored 7, 6, 6, and they must have another game somewhere that I can't
14.
find. And 14, the 14 and they win. So you have to score more. You have to score double-digit points if you're going to win most games. But if they're holding teams, most teams they're playing, they're holding to under 20. So HNC Division 1 could be fun next year.
There was a nice humble brag from Mr. Stuart Anderson himself about his own recruiting thing there. He's like, I haven't played with this guy. Look at all our new weapons.
Big names from around the league I've not quite had the chance to play with yet.
We'll get to our review later.
Just flexing on everyone.
Yeah. By the way, we have a massive squad now. No, that's fantastic. So that is the headlines. So we'll get on to some kind of specific games that you spoke about in your article this morning, which I have definitely read, so can tell you what those games are.
Sure. So the 4 games we were looking at covering, I'll even read them too because I can't remember, is the Chargers Killer Bees. We'll have a look at that one first, then followed up by Newcastle versus Edinburgh, Carnegie versus Top Guns, and then Rexy versus Raptors in our Dino battle. So we'll go through the 4 of those just now. We have at least one player interview, so we'll do that. So
yes, we got 1 done.
Yeah, we're a bit tight on time today, guys, so we'll try to do our best for next time.
But the good thing about that is that it was after the Killer Bees Chargers game. We spoke to Callum Bell. Callum?
Cool. So I'm here with Callum of the Killer Bees after their game against the West Lothian Chargers in their brand new strips. Callum, very bright. Talk to us about the game.
We lost in the end. We lost at 14-0. Right now we're currently in a bit of a growing period, I suppose. We've had our call-ups. We've lost 2 players up to the Hornets, and then this time of year it's a bit disjointed for us. Obviously, a lot of our coaching staff break off to coach the Pirates and Nuola, and obviously this year as well our venue had to change over winter, so our training's been pretty broken up and attendances. So to be honest, this winter league for us just now, it's a lot of fun. That's what it is. Last year was about development. This year it's about
having a laugh. Yeah, absolutely, and it's good with the expanded format that at least if you are going to have fun, you're going to have more games here, more people, more time to play football.
It brings the characters back.
It does bring the characters back. So good. Well, good luck for the rest of the day,
and
hopefully see some W's on the board very soon.
Yeah, we hope so. That's it.
Cool. Thank you very much.
So thanks, Callum, for that little interview there. So yeah, touchdowns for Gregor Rule and Mr. Stefanovic. They're with the 14-0 victory for the Chargers. Their second of Winter League. Probably one that, given the team that turned up, we saw coming. As Callum said there, they're here just to have a run out, have some fun. They've got a very, very kind of unmanned team. It's a lot of new guys, and they're running it out. And that's exactly the point of Winter League. Last year they were here to develop their Division 1 team and go on a run that saw them earn promotion. This year their their numbers are down, their training's been disjointed, so they're just running through for life. Which
I don't know
is commendable.
Derek came back, which is obviously, no offence to Callum, an improvement on the quarterback position. The 0 points, I'm surprised at, regardless of personnel.
I think the one thing when I spoke to Callum, he came and saw me with his roster this morning. It's like, oh, Stuart, we're a bit low in numbers this week. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Even with low numbers though, they're still going to know with the guys that they've got how experienced they are. They should be able to hold a defense, know what they're doing, offensively, progressively move, and yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that as well in a sense. But hearing about the training and the loss of numbers and stuff, it's disappointing because you're looking at Division 1 now being that electric division. Are the Killer Bees now being in the Premiership hurting themselves now with the Hornets? Is that something?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Killer Bees are going to lose players to the Hornets, and that's going to hurt them ultimately. But
yeah, because this was building the stepping stone for them last season to be progress to Division 1 and do what they've done. Where this year, if I see that Killer Bees squad in the Premiership, they're not going to win a game. Like, hopefully this is just early adoption. They're just getting used to transitioning, and then hopefully going in the future we can maybe see them getting better. And I think it's a fair assumption to make with that.
Stay tuned for Killer Bee Watch.
Oh, he said it. I'm not getting involved with that. Okay, on to game number 2, which was Newcastle 12, Edinburgh 15. In what sounds like a thriller. That's the first time I've seen the score. Another good win for Edinburgh. Yeah. I'm now aware that they have had at least 2 wins today.
We will get the standings momentarily and all the results. But yeah, the Edinburgh Outlaws, we weren't too surprised in week 1 with how they got on. They were high scoring, they got the ball moving, and they seem to be doing really good things. And minus Jamie Archibald, the scores that we've got, brilliant. Like I can't expect anything less from them. How are they going to do Division 1 wise? I think we'll see in the future. But in regard to performance at Winter League, I think the Outlaws are in a really good chance here of at least pushing Top Guns, which we'll talk about in a little bit, Rexy, Carnegie. It's always been really competitive games, so good kudos again to the Outlaws.
Yeah, absolutely. The game
game
that we had against them in week 1 was a riot. I had a great time.
Final game on the live stream.
Yeah, final game. And yeah, all I can say about that game is that we got through it, and we it was one of those kind of just like dig in and get out with a win because they played very well, and letting Liam rip the ball is like so much fun.
So I think we've said that before. I think we're just like let Liam go.
So I guess we can stop saying that it's like a new thing now because they have kind of started to do that, and hopefully that'll transfer to Division 1 in their big.
I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Regular season in the HNC.
One thing we'll add to it is a repetition of scores here. We're seeing the Outlaws really starting to, because they're putting points on the board, they're putting themselves in positions to win.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Newcastle just lost again. Like, not by much. It's again a really tight game. So I feel for Newcastle because again they're playing really, really well, but just falling short every single time. So they could be one to what I think Newcastle could be an underdog come later on in the year, based upon every score that I've seen so far.
Yeah,
again,
absolutely. Well, they finished last week in the 6th spot, which would be a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think they
so
1-2 lost 3. So
yeah, so we'll see how the standings shake out after today. But yeah, they're definitely the end of week 1 there was definitely almost there was 5 teams on winning records and 5 teams without, so they're sneaking in. But it wouldn't surprise me if you end up with that bottom 5 kind of all start to pick each other off. And if Newcastle rise to the top of that pile, I can kind of see it given their Division 1 record last year. It wouldn't shock me if they sneak in on that 6th seed, although at the moment they then draw Top Guns. In playoff week 1.
Well, we think.
We think.
No,
we
don't know.
This.
The standings.
So the 6 teams, the top 2 get a bye.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Right.
3.
Of course they do.
Yeah, but then if they progress, then
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So they would come up against one of the top seeds
Yeah,
if they were
okay.
6th. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. And the next game was our kind of big crunch at the top of the table. The only 2 teams from week 1 who didn't lose.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
good stats.
Good stats. And that was the Top Guns, obviously, in week 1. Crushed all who came before them, laid waste to the league. Didn't even concede a single point.
Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. Commentators on both podcasts and websites alike said that it may as well just be a battle for second place. This week has been very different for them. They have come in and into this battle where I think it was they were the favourites, and the Top Guns, they did get out with a win 21-6 against Carnegie. In what was maybe a kind of a tougher day for the guys in purple this week.
Yeah, I think we'll move on to Top Guns and certainly speak about their exploits again and what they've been up to. But yeah, in regards to Carnegie's standpoint, this was probably the first time in about 4 years we've had like over 20 players at a game day.
It was outrageous.
It was ridiculous. So to have 21 players at a game day for us, I think there's a few things there. I think a lot of our heads were down earlier on in the day. I think because we are not aware of like what game time is expected of us, why we're not getting in, and the heads might not be in the right place. So I certainly, Carnegie did probably take a step back this week, I think, in regards to performance. I played in 2 games this week. That's one actually I stepped out of. I didn't actually go to that one. I was watching it from the sidelines, which you'll see a nice little motion time lapse later on. I'll put that in. I was doing some videography stuff. So I wasn't actually part of the game, but I did watch it. It was good to see Craig Nicol back this week, making an impact on offence. And again, even just scoring against the Top Guns. They didn't concede in week 1. So I did have them down in the over-unders to be scoring against Top Guns, which everyone was like, from the last review show, a bit shocked at. I remember that. So you're going to win? I'm like, no, just score.
Score.
And we have done what I thought we would just score.
Keep your priorities.
Mr.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, so we've got it. And then certainly, Carnegie going forward, that's something we have to work on as a team. I think we have to better develop and understand why we're using Winter League and the whole point behind it. So I don't think the score truly reflects how good we can be. I think that'll change maybe later on. But we'll wait and see. But
Carnegie takes a step back. Tree plays 2 games at quarterbacks.
I mean, that's.
no, 1 game at quarterback.
Okay.
I was receiver in the Silvercats game. Yeah, so I wasn't all QB.
God,
multi-talented.
All your receivers like 6 feet.
Yeah, they were very much. Yeah.
They would not match up well against us.
As the short, we must be one of the shortest teams in the league. Okay, cool. And then moving on to a game that we had circled, thanks to the social media hype beforehand, the Jurassic Cup game between the Renfrewshire Raptors and Wrexham's Midnight Runners. The fantastic, possibly the largest emerald in the entire world.
Yep.
Now has 2 colourful dinosaurs on it. The first half was a lot tighter than the second half. I think Wrexham's jumped out to a lead that they never gave up in the end. I said earlier on to some of the guys that was probably the best offensive performance I've ever seen our team put together, at least since Iron Man earlier this year.
Yeah.
It was tip balls and bounces going our way and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was closer than, I think it's closer than 31-zip.
The scoreline doesn't lie, Bez.
I mean, yes, that was the score, but it felt more competitive than that.
Yeah, for me playing, I don't think at any point I went, we can chill out now, this game's out of sight.
Yeah.
Every time, regardless of the score, whatever it shows, I always went,
We should probably score here.
we should probably score here to make it safe, but
Yeah, so,
I'll chip in as well if you don't mind.
go for it.
Because we have the help of some Raptors, appreciate it, guys. Did the Raptors bottle it? With something else on the line?
That's...
When I saw the score, I did not expect them not to score with the talent that they've got. I wasn't at the game. I never
So what are
watched
you
the
saying?
game,
What are
but
you saying about the Rexy's defense?
that you stepped up big time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, fair.
Is that what happened, or did they
I
not
don't
score?
know. I think that like there was a couple of the plays that you guys had They're behind the camera.
The camera's probably switched off by now, but that's fine.
yeah, muted us.
There was, there was players that were like open, and then dropped or just maybe slightly overthrown or underthrown by.
Okay.
Suggesting that they bottled it is like.
I'm only
very
asking
harsh.
the questions.
So-
I don't know.
So don't get me
Very
wrong,
harsh.
right? The Raptors didn't score, but they drove the ball well.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
It's
for.
just-
Like what happened. Yeah.
It was kind of little mistakes when it comes to the goal line.
Yeah.
Again, a tipped ball, a dropped pass. It was little things to work on that.
So there's a lot
went
of
our way,
Yeah,
which
they
is
need to take
nice.
the positives from that, though.
Yeah.
Taking a 31-0 win is not. It can be demoralising sometimes. Teams
Yeah.
have been through this for years, but I don't think the Raptors are at that point where that's their level.
No, not at all.
The 31 win doesn't reflect how.
I mean,
where
as
they've
Bez
come
said,
from.
that is probably the best game we've played
Yeah.
on offense.
I'm just
I
looking
think we
forward to Raptor
scored.
Vision, I'll be
Yeah, I
honest.
know.
I just can't wait for Raptor Vision. I would like to thank them especially for my gift. I'll hunt as one now. Anytime that I'm not playing for any of the other teams I play for. But no, thank you very much, guys. It's a nice touch and it's very much appreciated. Cool. So that's our roundup of the big games of the day. We are now going to move on to the standings, which will be appearing either to Scott's left.
It'll be over.
Over there? Okay.
Over there.
They'll be over to Scott's left now. And we have some changes. Yeah, so as you can see over there to Scott's left, there have been some changes in the standings. Obviously, the Top Guns, despite their loss, remain the number one team with a almost unreasonable 118 points differential. However, after not allowing any points last week, they shipped 52 this week.
That's not what you were gonna say?
So, no, I was going to say 58, but I didn't, 52. Which may be a shock. Into second place, the Rex's Midnight Runners move up courtesy of their technically unbeaten day. Unbeaten day. With
5 games.
out of 5 games, won 4.5. The Edinburgh Outlaws are up to third with a 6-3 record, thanks to their net points or head-to-head. Is it points?
It's normally points.
It's normally
yeah,
points?
And
Okay.
head-to-head. Outlaws, Carnegie. Oh, Outlaws beat us. So yeah, technically
Yeah.
head-to-head.
Okay.
or points.
Head-to-head and
Yeah.
points. So Carnegie sit in fourth, also at 6-3. The Raptors at 5-4. The Silvercats move up into that sixth spot, into that potential playoff spot, with a really good day today, getting them up to 4-5.
MVP Jamie Bennett.
Jamie
Told you,
Bennett.
makes
Jamie
a
Bennett comes
difference.
back, climbs that leaderboard.
Yep.
Newcastle Blackhawks hit 3, 5, and 1, thanks to their tie with Rex's Bennett Runners. The West Lothian Chargers and the Grangemouth Colts make up 8 and 9 respectively at 2 and 7. And unusually for a Glasgow team, they sit in 10th at 1 and 8. However, they picked up their very, very first win of the day against
Against the Colts.
the Colts, who are sitting just above them. So we now have a Winter League where every single team have a win. Step up on last year. Good job, Mr. Organizer.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's where we stand. Looking ahead, halfway through the entire slate. Everyone's played everyone now.
9 games down.
So we get a really nice little standings there. So the power rankings should be a good laugh, especially now one pundit understands the rules. Sorry.
We'll still
So-
not name who it was. but there was
So
one
that
person.
would be good. So yeah, there were some super close games today. Some very tight games. The Raptors and Chargers had a 7-6 game. I always like to shout at people saying that extra points make the difference. In this game, they absolutely did, saving the Raptors from a shock by the Chargers.
Extra point.
But extra points in general.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, if that was me, you'd correct me.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. So yeah, a tight game. We love to see it.
Another tight Chargers loss. I was looking at the standings just a second ago. Only conceding 97 points. We did grudge it the last time because they played slightly different games than everyone else, but now we've all played the same. You can see with 97 points, it puts them 1, 2, 3, fifth best defense and only just shy of Carnegie's defense.
Yeah.
So again, for the Chargers, a 7-6, they're holding the other teams to 7. they're just
not
again.
quite
I'll emphasise
scoring.
this again, they've
Yeah.
got to get the ball.
Yeah,
into the end
they're
zone.
59 and 97 for a negative 38. So, like, it's not great. They got, there's a couple of games last week they were handled pretty well. But yeah, this week all their games were relatively close, which is nice to see. One of the other close games as well, another 1 point victory, was that Bees' first win over Grangemouth.
Well done, Bees.
Well done to the Bees, getting that one on the board.
Wooden spoon.
No wooden spoon.
No wooden zeros.
Nothing. No zeros out there. So congratulations to them, holding on to a really good win and what was actually a game-sealing pick and return. Not for touchdown, but that ended the game very, very nicely.
To put you on the spot, do we know who?
Yes, Menzies.
Robbie Menzies.
Robbie Menzies.
So last year's offensive MVP.
Last year's offensive. Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Extraordinaire.
So yeah, well done, Robbie. And a good slide to finish as well. Gave the knee, put the knee down, let the clock run out, win the game. Like it. Game sealing play.
Management.
Smart play from a smart guy. And then finally, the Silvers took down the vanquishers of Top Gun, the Outlaws, in a 14-12 game, which would at the moment be the first round of the playoff game.
Yeah.
I think going into that, you probably would have had the Outlaws as a favourite. I don't know if they were on the over-unders or not, but I can guarantee that if they were, then you probably would have had the Outlaws as the favourite. So that's a really, really good win for the for the Silvercats. Silvercats.
Ex-coach, guys.
Ex-coach. Yep. So yeah, congratulations to them. That's a big scalp. Especially, they've had a kind of a torrid HNC season this year.
Bad week one.
Bad week one.
Yeah.
The Outlaws are now in their division in the HNC. So that's probably a confidence-inspiring win there.
Yeah, it's a over 500 days. I can't, off the top of my head, my maths are not good. We've all had this on the podcast. It's all about the math.
Yeah,
and I'm not too good at math. But looking at Silvercats 4 and 5, I believe they were 1 and 4 in week
They were
one.
1 and something.
They were 1 and 3 or 1 and 4.
Reversed
So
their record in this week, and they've come to the results that we expect them to see. And
Yes.
for me, I expect them to be being competitive in all those games. So that I'm not surprised at, and I'm just glad to see Jamie back and just seeing what a difference it makes. It does make a difference.
It absolutely does.
Although someone called me out for it the last time, I say, QBs make the difference. They do.
Talking of QBs, stop throwing at this man, because I will not have him picking up stats on defense. It is mind-numbingly frustrating to see. I know!
He made the top 3! I was as shocked as you were. I was like Scott McDonald. I had to go through the score sheets and go, were we sure?
Can we all just pause for a second and say you guys were shocked?
Yeah.
This guy was terrified.
He's just throw at someone else. So yeah, that was fantastic. So will the stats for the people will be posted as last time, I would imagine?
Yeah, we'll get them out. We have on the left-hand side, we'll have things like touchdown leaders, sack leaders. We'll put on all the stats. Still not decided what I'm going to do yet. Last year we done it on a week-by-week basis. We were showing and showcasing who the best players were of each individual week, so that it wasn't the same people all the time. So we might do that again, where we have the overall stats over here, but when they actually get released on social media, what we'll do is we'll give a shout out to the top performers of the week as well.
Okay.
Just so we can showcase if guys are new to the sport, they've just came along, they've maybe starting to improve as it went. So we'll give shout outs to them, and then when we come to the end of the year, it will be an overall who the quarterback is MVP, the offensive and defensive, and we'll get them as an overall. So we'll do that later in the year.
Cool.
But the overalls will be over here. The only one we haven't put out yet is the MVPs. So just an FYI to everyone, there was 18 different voted MVPs in week one, and to do our
about
top
20 games.
22 games, there was 18 players, of which 4 of them had 2 votes. So to do a top 3 was just horrible. So I left it.
Fair.
So we'll see where that comes to at the end.
We'll see how that
A
goes.
top 3 would have just been the 4
Everyone.
people draw.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, that would have been true.
4-man tie.
Or
4-lady tie.
We'll keep it a surprise for everyone.
As he says, math's not a strong point.
No, not math.
Do you have enough
Anyway,
admins?
this week might be different.
Might
I'm
be.
hoping so. I've not looked at the score sheets.
I've got an inkling that Mr. Perfect might have picked up a couple.
I know that he did one, and I don't know how many he had in the first week. And I'm going to let him on to, but yeah, he could be doing quite well.
He could either have 1, 2, or none.
Yeah.
Maths.
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 It's always good when after the game has ended and you're lining up for the next one, the referees from the game before go, "Here, what number are you?" One.
So we'll get MVPs for the next one, guys. We'll showcase who's leading the way with that too. That'll be over here.
Here again.
Yeah, I'll see. Just pay attention.
Feel like a weather forecaster.
I really hope the line gets further and further and further. Eventually your face is just covered by stats. So the most anticipated moment of any review show is now upon us. It is the over-under spread league, which last week Mr. Perfect here walked out with a victory that saw Greg Sim be so upset by that he's not here this week. He decided that in his shame he would go live on an oil rig in Orkney for this week.
Yeah, we still love you, Greg, but we miss you at the same time.
We love you less.
Yeah. We'll see how you get on this week, though.
Oh.
We're not even angry, we're just disappointed.
Yeah, just disappointed.
So, as always, completely live reactions here because Tree's the only one that knows the answers.
They're in. So, we have 2 players tied for third.
Ooh.
So, we have
Bronze medal.
with 6 out of the 11 points. Oh, that's okay. I've got it over. Is Mr. Paul Ferretti. So, well done, Paul. You got 6 out of the 11, right? Remembering that it's out of 11 this week because I made a mistake in the first week where there was only 9. My fault, but it's all good. And then also picking up 6 points this week, Scott McDonald. 6 out of the 11.
Oh, it's an improvement.
Tied third.
I just have to hope that Bez got 1.
So with joint first is 2
Oh.
players,
Don't be Bez.
of which neither are Bez.
Oh.
No Tom Clark.
Shock.
No Greg Sim.
Pundits are bad.
We have Cameron Reid with 7.
Ooh, well done, Cam.
Well done, Cameron. And then I believe, I don't have the things here. He was bottom in week 1 with 1, 2, right? Nick Gordon.
Oh, big man. Well
So
done, Nick.
for this week's winner, there's a split. So you'll get £5 each the next time I see you. So Merry Christmas on us. Can we get your money?
Do we trust Bez enough to take it home and give them it?
I don't think I'll see them. I don't think I'll see them, so.
And then on to the overalls.
Oh, yes.
So again, we're tied for 3 players are in first and 3 players are in second. So
Thank
you
God
can work
someone
out the
called
math
Bez.
because math is not my strong suit. So I think it's 4th tied. Yes, there is 4. Correct. I know. So with 12 out of 20. There we go. I got my math right. Got my math right.
I mean, 11 and 9. There's 20 there.
Yeah.
They've got 12 right. They've got 12.
So you'll like this one. Is Aaron the Champ Drummond as he put into the form. So 12 out of 20. Well done, Aaron. Next up is yours truly.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm in there. 12 out of 20.
Oh, it's a fix.
We also have Who Done Them, which I believe is a bit of a shock. John Guthrie.
Hey. Hey, good for you, man. Good for you.
And then with 12 is our man, he's not here, Mr. Greg Sim. 12 out of 20.
You suck, Greg.
So they guys are all 12 out of 20. And there's 3 players with 13. Mr. Paul Ferretti's jumped up the list again.
Oh, he's flying.
So,
2 good weeks.
Yeah, 2 good weeks in a row, so that's consistency. So he's up there doing really well. Then we have Mr. Tom Clark, who's not with us today. We love you, Tom, even though you're still the most hated man in football. And then,
It's not even close.
still leading the way, Bez.
Wait, so I only got 5 this week.
You got
Joint.
13.
Joint.
Joint first. And how many you get? 5?
Yeah, we had 9.
4.
You got
4.
9
13.
out of 9.
So 4 this week.
Oh,
4 out of 11.
Wow, Mr. Perfect.
I suck, Greg.
So that was us. That's our over-under. So well done to Nick and Cameron.
£5.
Performers of the week. And
we
then
kept.
Bez, Tom and Paul, we're another step closer to £100.
Fantastic. Fantastic. There
So
we
that's
go.
our
I was.
over-unders for another week. So look out for the form coming out the next time. We did have 2 players not fill it in this week. We will not name and shame them.
Go on, go on, go on,
Why
go
don't we
on.
name and shame them?
We
Go
won't
on.
name and
Why
shame
don't we
them.
name and shame them?
One of them's from Aberdeen, and I don't really know him that well.
I know who you
So I
are,
can't call
and
you
you will
out.
hear about it.
Probably Drummond, isn't it?
It's not Drummond.
Nah,
You know who Drummond did.
No, it's not him. No, that's it. Well done.
Cool. Fantastic. All right, so moving on to our final question of the day.
Basically
Something to leave our viewership with if they've made it this far. Okay, Scott, the question for you so far.
When it comes to you first.
the game on the Glare. I don't know what he's going to ask me here. I don't know.
I'd like to know which teams have been naughty and which teams have been nice.
Oh.
Scott, you can pick a naughty or a nice team, and Tree will have to give us the flip side.
Okay.
Oh. So I'll pick a naughty or a nice team. I'm going to pick the Raptors for not scoring a point against Rex's. Bottle job.
Harsh naughty team. Okay, Tree, who's been nice?
Who's been nice? There's quite a few teams I'm going to pick on. Like, nice in regards to, it's nice to see the Top Guns lose and be conceding points. So good job to the teams that played them and stepping up to the mark. But if I were to pick one team, I'd probably go with the Edinburgh Outlaws. I think they're my nice team. I think they're scoring well. I think they're moving the ball. Their clock management's really good. So I think they're going to put themselves in a really good position going forward. So my nice is going to be, I think, the Edinburgh Outlaws this week.
Good.
It is the season to be giving, and the Top Guns decided to give points away while still having a pretty good day.
Yes,
So-
yes.
It's maybe the strips. They got new strips.
I think they're cool. I like them.
I'm getting like the Charger is better than the Charger strip, in my opinion. Just dropping it. And I think that falls on my naughty list. I'm not too keen. But the Top Gun strip, yeah, I think it's quite nice. I think it's very different. I like the nicknames.
My issue is the nicknames.
You know, I like them.
Not a fan of nicknames. No.
I think we're splitting that. Not nice.
Jamie being a knee calves is a
Oh, right, yeah, that's a GB running ruler thing, I think.
Cool.
What about you, Bess?
Um,
Give us a naughty or nice. You know, even you're on the fence.
if I was to slide down someone's chimney and deliver some presents, I think I would have to give presents to my guys at West Lothian. Obviously, the ending of Charger Watch in a league format was huge for the guys that have followed them for a Winter League and a HNC season. So they're definitely on the nice list. They've been good this year.
Does the kit not negate that?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Does not. Those beers were ice cold and slightly out of date, but worth it in the end. And on my naughty list, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one, isn't it?
It's hard to pick on naughty list. Maybe Mr. Scott McDonald for that savage comment about Renfrewshire.
Fair.
So yeah, I think the runners have been naughty for tying for the second time in 2 months. Don't like that. Don't like ties.
Oh, so many people ties.
So many people ties. So yeah, well, that is all we have time for, I think, guys.
Yes.
Anything else from you, Tree? Any nuggets?
No, I just a few thank yous basically. We haven't seen it yet. I've been working in the background, but Nuola are working on our MVP jersey to come out together at the end of the season, which is looking absolutely fantastic. I might have got one made for my business as well to put on the wall. Looks pretty cool.
Nice.
So thanks to Nuola for supporting us with that. We'll be getting that shortly. I'll let everyone have a little look at it. MyFlags as well, be in contact with them. They're giving us our Winter League MVP flags. They're on the way, so thanks to them. Steve Smith for his photography and hard work behind the scenes. Thanks
Also
very
behind
much.
the camera.
Appreciate it. Cameras are fantastic. We've got some extra footage coming soon, so we'll get that. I'm not going to thank me for doing the IT stuff. It's terrible.
I'll thank you though.
Oh, thanks very much. It's okay.
It's not. It's
You
great.
did a bang average job.
It was okay.
I'd say above average.
You guys haven't seen the live stream yet this week. They were missing. The scores are not up to date as frequently as I would like it. My OCD kicked in today when I was playing.
I was part
Tree
of one of the commentaries.
Tree has now benched himself for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm the tech stuff.
I was part of one of the commentary teams, and when people scored, everyone got excited, and then about 2 minutes later they go, "Oh, we have to update the scores."
Yeah, we'll teach everyone how to do
So,
it. But thanks to all the ones that did commentate today. Really appreciate your help and support with doing that with us. And then obviously with Mark and the Raptors guys, thanks, appreciate for the video stuff. We look forward to seeing it, so thank you very much. I think other than that, anything Scott, you want to...
I mean, aside from Tree not thanking his own teammate for coming along with a broken finger to run the day,
Oh, well, that's true.
to allow him to play, whether that's good or bad,
This is why I've got you guys to help me with this stuff. I can't remember everybody. So yeah, I guess Stuart McEwen. Yeah, so thanks Stuart for kind of helping everyone and pointing everyone in the right direction. It goes a long way. We don't have many players that kind of do step up and go above and beyond. We play, we go away, we leave. But then it's having other players like, sorry, John Guthrie. That's true, actually. So
that was going to be my thank you. So my thank you to the mastermind, Mr. John Guthrie, behind finding the largest emerald known to man. I'm assuming you had to dive into the crystal maze to get that thing. It's good and it's weighty, and as much as I would like to keep it, I'm sure that there's another team that would very, very much like to get their hands on it. So we'll see those guys in week 4 for what I'm sure will be another cracker of a game. So other than that, thank you everyone who bothers to check in and watch this. As always, hit us up on feedback, slide into our DMs or comment down there. See you next week. Have a fantastic Christmas. Have a fantastic New Year. We will be back here at Orium on the 5th of January. So now it's time for the top 10 plays of the day. So Carnegie Flag Football, roll the tape!
Launches a bomb, and that is absolutely stunning. What a one-handed catch. Tight trips formation, and he's gonna throw it into double coverage. Oh my lord, oh he's caught it! Unbelievable! It's not even on the camera. 19-13, and that is the winner. Unbelievable.